Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and sometimes you're just tired of work, you're tired of everything, you want to go somewhere for a nice romantic weekend, you take a holiday or a getaway.
That's right, so why don't we take a look at this word on Vocabulary Preview.
Vocabulary Preview.
Okay, so Marco, the word I mentioned is getaway. It has a couple of different meanings in English. What are we talking about today?
Well, to get away from someone would be to, leave, right? To try and stay far away. But a getaway, so taking it as a noun, a romantic getaway, is actually to take a holiday, a romantic escape from the city, escape from your daily normal life.
That's right. So it's usually kind of brief or sudden, almost like you're just going to sneak out and then come back in a couple of days.
Exactly. So many people refer to them as island getaways if you go to an island, or a romantic getaway if you have a romantic 2-day vacation or something like this.
Right. And what are you getting away from? You're getting away from work. You're getting away from the busyness of the city. You're getting away from noise. It's a nice way to get into the countryside, or as you said, the islands.
Exactly. So I think we can take a look at our dialogue. We're going to a travel agency called Getaway Tours, and we're going to try and see if we can book a nice romantic getaway.
Welcome to Perfect Getaway Tours. How can I help you?
I would like to plan a surprise getaway for me and my wife.
Very well. We have a couple of different options, such as beaches, the wilderness, the countryside, or even going to a spa for the weekend.
I think something in the countryside would be nice.
Perfect. This package includes round-trip flights to New Hampshire. A free airport pickup is included. Our VIP limousine will pick you up and provide you with complimentary champagne and finger foods to soften this 30-minute ride to the countryside.
Sounds good. What is the hotel that we'll be staying at like?
That is the best part. Your hotel is actually an old country villa that has been restored and refurbished to accommodate a maximum of 10 guests. You will enjoy an intimate and private time in this very spacious and warm hotel. Included in the price is 3 meals a day, excluding beverages. You can choose to eat at the fabulous restaurant that offers a stunning view of the lush green gardens. Or if you prefer, your own private butler can arrange your meal to be served in your room or outside on our terrace.
Wow, this sounds like something my wife would really enjoy. Are there any outdoor activities we can take part in?
Of course. The hotel has a stable with beautiful stallions for a very romantic horseback ride along the country trail. You can also go fishing at the nearby lake or visit the local vineyard.
I'm sold. I want to book this trip, and I don't care what it costs. Money is no object.
All right, we're back. So I think this sounds pretty romantic, right?
It sounds too good to be true. It's perfect. They have butlers and food and horseback riding.
That's right. So she actually mentioned a couple of interesting words there describing where they're going to go or how they're going to spend their time. So why don't we take a look at those now on Language Takeaway.
Language Takeaway.
Okay, so the first word has to do with where this couple is going. They're going to the countryside.
That's right, the countryside. So what exactly is the countryside?
Well, countryside, or the country, is the opposite of the city. So it's anywhere that is rural or less developed than a city, not big skyscrapers or businesses or big towns. It's actually pretty quiet.
Okay, so yeah, usually the countryside will have a lot of natural wildlife, trees, gardens, or farms, I think can be considered part of the countryside.
Definitely.
And so, yeah, that's basically the complete opposite from a city, right?
Yes, and that's why a lot of people take getaways to the countryside because it's as far away from the city as you can go.
Okay, very good. And to get to the countryside, they're actually taking round-trip flights to New Hampshire.
All right, so round trip is an important vocabulary item when we're talking about travel because you can use this for train tickets, flight tickets, even boat tickets. It means that you're going there and you're coming back. It's basically 2 tickets.
Right. So the opposite would be if you buy one-way ticket or a one-way flight.
That's right. So many people dream of buying a one-way ticket to the islands. You know, they never have to come back.
Right.
But round trip means you're going to come home at some point.
Okay. So they're actually going round trip to New Hampshire, and also they are getting picked up at the airport where they're going to have a nice limo that's going to offer them complimentary champagne and finger foods.
Okay, my favorite kind of champagne.
Complimentary.
That's right. This means that they're not going to pay for it, right? It's free.
So it's the company is going to pay for it.
You can have complimentary food. You can have complimentary service. These are basically things that someone else is providing for you. You don't have to pay for them.
Yeah, even on talking about flights, sometimes people will get a complimentary upgrade to first class. That means they are getting a better service for free.
Not me. Hey, if you work for an airline, I would love a complimentary bump to first class.
And what about this finger foods? What about that? That sounds kind of strange.
Yeah, it might sound disgusting, but it's not actually fingers that you eat. It's food that you can eat with your fingers.
So they're like small little treats or snacks that you can have.
Exactly. Usually if you go to a cocktail party or if you go to a party at a museum or an event, they'll have these little foods that you can pick up and eat. You don't need a fork or a spoon.
Okay, so they're very small, convenient little snacks that you can just kind of pick at and
pop into your mouth.
Pop into your mouth. All right, and all of this they're doing because they have a 30-minute ride to the countryside, so they want to soften the 30-minute ride.
Okay, so to soften something means to make it more enjoyable or more pleasurable. Because, oh no, the 30-minute ride is so rough, so
and
hard.
so boring.
So this makes it better.
Okay, so yeah, you can soften things such as the ride to the countryside, or you can even soften someone up. So maybe give them some nice compliments, so they'll be nice to you.
That's right, to soften.
Okay, all right. So why don't we take a break and listen to the dialogue again, and we'll be back with language takeaway part 2.
Welcome to Perfect Getaway Tours. How can I help you?
I would like to plan a surprise getaway for me and my wife.
Very well. We have a couple of different options, such as beaches, the wilderness, the countryside, or even going to a spa for the weekend.
I think something in the countryside would be nice.
Perfect. This package includes round-trip flights to New Hampshire. A free airport pickup is included. Our VIP limousine will pick you up and provide you with complimentary champagne and finger foods to soften this 30-minute ride to the countryside.
Sounds good. What is the hotel that we'll be staying at like?
That is the best part. Your hotel is actually an old country villa that has been restored and refurbished to accommodate a maximum of 10 guests. You will enjoy an intimate and private time in this very spacious and warm hotel. Included in the price is 3 meals a day, excluding beverages. You can choose to eat at the fabulous restaurant that offers a stunning view of the lush green gardens. Or if you prefer, your own private butler can arrange your meal to be served in your room or outside on our terrace.
Wow, this sounds like something my wife would really enjoy. Are there any outdoor activities we can take part in?
Of course. The hotel has a stable with beautiful stallions for a very romantic horseback ride along the country trail. You can also go fishing at the nearby lake or visit the local vineyard.
I'm sold. I want to book this trip, and I don't care what it costs. Money is no object.
All right, we're back, and now we are going to take a look at a good group of adjectives that the travel agent used to describe how great this hotel is, how great the place is.
Language takeaway.
Okay, so the person on the telephone representing the travel company is trying to sell something. So she is using these really, really great adjectives to make everything sound awesome. And one of the first things she says is that you will enjoy an intimate and private time in this great hotel. Okay,
so an intimate time. If something is intimate, it means it's very, I don't know, it usually means like romantic, right?
Romantic, cozy, but also private.
Private.
So something that is intimate is usually between two people.
Okay, so if they're going to have an intimate and private room, that means it's a room only for them.
Yes, or if someone has an intimate relationship, that means that they're romantically involved.
Okay. And the travel agent went on to describe how fabulous the restaurant is. So this adjective is really nice. Fabulous.
And I think you have to say it like that. Fabulous.
Fabulous.
So this means that it's just a wonderful restaurant. And some people even say totally fab.
Okay. Can you describe someone as fabulous? Not really, right?
He is so fabulous. She is fabulous.
Really? You can
My
say
mom
that?
says it all the time. Yeah. So it also depends on, I think, your personality. This is a very, very descriptive word. So sometimes it's a bit too strong.
Okay.
You have to be careful. But yeah, you can describe a person, you can describe a place, you can describe a thing with the word fabulous.
All right. Apart from having this fabulous restaurant, they also have a stunning view of the gardens.
All right, stunning is similar to the word breathtaking or shocking in a good way. It makes you really, really impressed because it's so beautiful or so unique.
Okay, so for example, the view of the beach is stunning, right? Or even someone, you can say, "Wow, you look stunning."
That's right. So this is a really great compliment, by the way. Usually men say this to women.
Okay.
Women don't say this to men.
Okay.
You can describe someone's clothes as stunning, like her dress was stunning at the Oscars. But if you're a man trying to give a woman a good compliment, believe me, this one works. You look stunning
All
this
right.
evening.
Okay, nice little tip there. Using the adjective stunning. Okay, now lush. We have lush green gardens. So we have a stunning view of the lush green gardens. This word lush.
Lush usually describes things that are organic, like plants and flowers. And we say this to mean that something is very green, very healthy, very full.
Okay, so an apple tree full with apples, and you have it just looks great. You would say it's a lush apple tree,
Right? Or I could even say, I've heard that the rainforests of Ecuador are very, very lush,
Okay.
very, very green.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so lush, they're very abundant, very green, very healthy. And apart from these adjectives, the sales agent also described that the country villa had recently been restored and refurbished. So what about these two words? Restored and refurbished.
Okay, basically what she's saying is that this house, this big villa, was recently completely remade on the inside.
Okay.
So the appearance, the look doesn't really change. It's still an old, beautiful villa, but maybe the insides were old or needed to be updated. And so that means that the plumbing, the lights, the walls, the paint, that was all restored, maybe to look like the original, very, very beautiful and clean. But also it was refurbished, which means that the fittings and the carpet and maybe the lights and all the furniture, that was also new again.
Okay, so we usually hear about this sometimes in the news when they are restoring an old church or an old building. That means they're making it, they're trying to save it and make it look like it used to. They're not changing it, right?
They're not trying to make it look new, but they're trying to make it look like it used to look before it got old.
Okay.
You know how sometimes old things are worn and they're not pretty anymore. Well, what they're trying to do is make it really shiny and beautiful.
And refurbish is basically to give it, as you said, new carpet or sometimes new furniture or stuff like that. So many people refurbish their homes, right?
That's right. And it's a very, very popular thing to do with older houses. You buy them, you fix them, you restore them, you refurbish them so that you want to live in them.
Right. Okay. So a lot of great things from this dialogue. I think we should listen to it one more time, and we'll be back in a little bit.
Welcome to Perfect Getaway Tours. How can I help you?
I would like to plan a surprise getaway for me and my wife.
Very well. We have a couple of different options, such as beaches, the wilderness, the countryside, or even going to a spa for the weekend.
I think something in the countryside would be nice.
Perfect. This package includes round-trip flights to New Hampshire. A free airport pickup is included. Our VIP limousine will pick you up and provide you with complimentary champagne and finger foods to soften this 30-minute ride to the countryside.
Sounds good. What is the hotel that we'll be staying at like?
That is the best part. Your hotel is actually an old country villa that has been restored and refurbished to accommodate a maximum of 10 guests. You will enjoy an intimate and private time in this very spacious and warm hotel. Included in the price is 3 meals a day, excluding beverages. You can choose to eat at the fabulous restaurant that offers a stunning view of the lush green gardens. Or if you prefer, your own private butler can arrange your meal to be served in your room or outside on our terrace.
Wow, this sounds like something my wife would really enjoy. Are there any outdoor activities we can take part in?
Of course. The hotel has a stable with beautiful stallions for a very romantic horseback ride along the country trail. You can also go fishing at the nearby lake or visit the local vineyard.
I'm sold. I want to book this trip, and I don't care what it costs. Money is no object.
All right, so talking about getaways, now the sales agent offered him options such as beach, wilderness, countryside, or even a spa. Which one do you prefer?
Wilderness.
For sure. So
sure.
you want to go into the forest, the jungle?
Yes. I hate to say it. I think beaches are boring. Sorry, Mom. I know you love beaches. I like to do stuff when I'm away. So I love the desert too, but the wilderness, somewhere where I'm outside. I live in a city. I don't want to go to a city. So I like to go somewhere where I can walk around, hike, ride a bike, do things like that. What about you?
I don't have a favorite, actually. Sometimes it's nice for me to go to the beach and relax. I do tend to get a little bit bored after maybe 2 days of doing nothing on the beach, but it does give a good opportunity to do other things, beach activities like snorkeling or scuba diving, which can also be really fun. But definitely I do enjoy the wilderness as well, the jungle and rafting or camping. Yeah, it's good fun. The insects can be a bit of a nuisance at times.
Or the rain. Camping in the snow or the rain is so horrible.
But other than that, yeah, it's great. I know not many people enjoy these types of outdoor getaways. But of course, you have spas. I know many people enjoy going to a spa, having a mud bath, and
nothing wrong with that. Getting your nails done, having
Exactly.
a massage. I mean, getting the whole royal treatment, like we say.
So this is what we want to know now is, when you go on vacation, what do you like to do? Do you like to get away to the tropical beaches? Do you like to go to the islands or the jungle? What do you like to do?
Let us know. Our website is englishpod.com. We hope to see you there.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
A group of services. Package. Travel both to the place and back again. Round trip. Expressing a compliment. Complimentary. To provide room for someone. Accommodate. To return something to an original condition. Restore. Be persuaded to recognize the worth of. Be sold. A place appropriate for a vacation. Getaway.
Let's try that faster.
A place appropriate for a vacation. Getaway. Expressing a compliment. Complimentary. Be persuaded to recognize the worth of. Be sold. Travel both to the place and back again. Round trip. To return something to an original condition. Restore. To provide room for someone. Accommodate. A group of services. Package.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Getaway. They took the whole family on a getaway to the Rocky Mountains. Getaway. This travel agency offers getaways mainly to tropical destinations. Getaway. My dream getaways would be to spend a week living by the ocean in a little fishing village. Complimentary. We found complimentary chocolates and champagne in the hotel room. Complimentary. This hotel includes a complimentary breakfast and nightly snacks. Complimentary. The flight attendant passed out the complimentary mid-flight refreshments. Restore. They restored the town's old library 3 years ago. Restore. The exterior of this church has been restored to its original appearance. Restore. They are in the process of restoring the old town hall, so it will be closed for at least another month. Accommodate. We can accommodate 3 more people on this trip. Accommodate. This hotel can accommodate over 800 guests. Accommodate. The maximum number of people we can accommodate in this reception hall is 250. Be sold. They sold me on that idea. Be sold. This vacation package has everything I want, so I'm sold. Be sold. If the advertisement is clever enough, I'm usually sold on that product.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
I'm Amira.
Hey, Amira, how are you today?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited about this lesson that you have for us today.
Yes, it's actually a very, very useful lesson. It's about someone asking his boss for an assistant.
Oh, okay, an assistant. What's an assistant?
Well, it's someone who helps you with your work around the office.
Okay, great. So let's listen to this dialogue, and when we come back, we'll take a look at all the interesting and useful vocabulary that you'll find.
Like I told you before, we just don't have the resources to hire you an assistant.
I understand that, but the fact is, we're understaffed.
The timing is just not right. The economy's bad, and it's too risky to take on new staff.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Here's an idea. What if we hire an intern? She would take some of the weight off my shoulders.
She?
Yeah, you know, a recent graduate. She could give me a hand with some of these projects, and we could keep our costs down.
That sounds reasonable. Let me see what I can do. Tony, I'd like to introduce you to your new assistant.
Okay, great. Let's meet her.
Hi, I'm Adam.
Oh, hi, I'm Tony.
And we're back. Tony. He's surprised, huh?
Yeah, he's, I don't know why, though, he's surprised. I think we should talk about that a little bit later.
Yes, for now, let's look at some interesting vocabulary and phrases here. Marco, I know you've chosen one for us.
Yeah, the first one that I want to take a look at is resources.
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 And that means, in this text, basically money.
Right.
So the office doesn't have enough money.
Okay. I've chosen another interesting word for you, and that's understaffed.
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 Now, understaffed means that they don't have enough people working there.
They don't have enough workers.
Right. They don't have enough employees.
Perfect. Okay. The next one is timing is just not right.
The timing is just not right.
The timing is just not right.
The timing is just not right.
Okay, let's listen to how we can use this entire phrase in a different situation so then we can understand what it means. Let's listen.
I was gonna sell my house, but the timing is just not right. Honey, I think we should have a baby.
The timing is just not right.
Okay, great. I guess that makes it clear.
Yes, actually, it's very obvious that it means that it's just not a good time.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah. I have another interesting phrase for you, which is weight off my shoulders.
Weight off my shoulders.
Weight off my shoulders.
Weight off my shoulders.
So, to take weight off my shoulders is another way of saying to help me with my work or to take some of my work away from me.
If you have a lot of things to do and I come and help you, that means that I took some of the weight off your shoulders.
Yes.
Let's look at the next phrase that we have here, and it's give me a hand.
Give me a hand.
Give me a hand.
Give me a hand.
Okay, now this is not literal. It's not that I'm gonna give you somebody's hand, right? Let's listen to some examples, and then we can come back and explain what it means.
Can you give me a hand with these boxes?
Neil, I'll need you to give me a hand with the sales reports.
Here, let me give you a hand with your suitcase.
All right. Give me a hand is another way of saying help or to help out.
Exactly, to help out.
Right.
Perfect.
Now, the last phrase we're going to look at here in this dialogue is keep our costs down.
Keep our costs down.
Keep our costs down.
Keep our costs down.
So to keep our costs down means to try and not spend so much money.
Exactly. Many companies, for example, now control how much printing you do.
Yes.
Right? To
yes.
keep the costs down of paper.
Yeah, so in other words, they do not want to have unnecessary spending.
Perfect. Okay, I think it's time for us to listen to this dialogue one more time, but I want everyone to listen and see why Tony is surprised at the end when he meets his intern, when he meets his assistant.
Like I told you before, we just don't have the resources to hire you an assistant.
I understand that, but the fact is, we're understaffed.
The timing is just not right. The economy's bad, and it's too risky to take on new staff.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Here's an idea. What if we hire an intern? She would take some of the weight off my shoulders.
She?
Yeah, you know, a recent graduate. She could give me a hand with some of these projects, and we could keep our costs down.
That sounds reasonable. Let me see what I can do. Tony, I'd like to introduce you to your new assistant.
Okay, great. Let's meet her.
Hi, I'm Adam.
Oh, hi, I'm Tony.
Well, you know, Marco, I think that Tony was really surprised because he was kind of hoping to have a female intern.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he was expecting. Maybe this guy is a little bit sexist. He thought that an intern should be a girl, but instead he
got Adam.
Exactly, and it looks like Adam is really big and really tall because he's got that deep voice.
Right. An intern, Marco, do you want to elaborate on that?
Working at a company with a very low salary or sometimes no salary at all, but what you're gaining is experience and you're learning a lot of things. Everyone who has been an intern or had an intern knows that sometimes they are not treated all that well. Sometimes they just serve coffee or they have to do paperwork.
Or like photocopying things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But some internships are really, really cool, and some are really good experiences for learning.
Yes, definitely. Actually, I know a friend of mine. She used to work as an intern in one of those really big companies, and she told me that she has gained so much experience doing that.
Yeah, I mean, even if you don't get paid, the experience that you get is really good. And that just opens doors for maybe getting another job. Or sometimes the interns get hired by the company to stay because they do such a good job.
Yeah, I think that's mostly the case, huh?
Yeah, that happened to me once. I started working as an intern, and after 3 months, I was hired by the company. So it does happen,
So
believe
you
me.
did a good job.
Yeah, of course. All right, folks, we're out of time today. I hope that you enjoyed our lesson.
Asking for assistance. When people need help, they ask for assistance. This can happen in many situations. You might ask for help when you are lost, when you cannot carry something heavy, or when you do not understand something. It is important to know how to ask for help politely and clearly. When you need assistance, you can start by saying, "Excuse me," or "Can you help me, please?" This shows that you are polite. People are usually happy to help when you ask nicely. For example, if you cannot find a place, you can say, "Excuse me, can you tell me where the bank is?" If you need help carrying a bag, you can say, "Can you help me carry this bag, please?" When someone helps you, it is important to say thank you or I appreciate it. This shows that you are grateful. If you need help but do not know how to ask, it can feel difficult. Learning simple phrases can make it easier. For example, "I need help with this," or "Can you help me, please?" are useful sentences. Remember, asking for assistance is normal, and people often help each other in daily life. When asking for assistance, it is important to know different ways to express your needs. Sometimes, you may need help in a public place, like a store, a train station, or a hospital. In these situations, using polite language is very important. People are more likely to help you if you ask in a kind and respectful way. You can start your request by using phrases like, "Excuse me," "I'm sorry to bother you," or "Could you help me, please?" These phrases are polite and make the person you are asking feel respected. For example, if you are in a store and cannot find an item, you can say, "Excuse me, could you help me find the bread?" If you are at a train station and are unsure which train to take, you could ask, "I'm sorry to bother you, but could you tell me which train goes to the city center?" These polite phrases make your request clear and respectful. In some situations, you may need to give more information when you ask for assistance. Being clear and specific helps the other person understand your problem. For example, if your phone is not working, you could say, "Excuse me, my phone is not working. Can you help me?" If you do not know how to use a machine, you can say, "Could you please show me how to use this machine?" Giving clear details about your problem makes it easier for people to help you. If you are not sure how to explain your problem, you can start by saying, "I have a problem," or "I need some help." These simple phrases show that you need assistance and encourage others to listen. When asking for help, it is also helpful to pay attention to the situation. If someone looks busy, it is better to wait or find someone else to ask. For example, if you are in a store and a worker is helping another customer, you can wait until they finish. When they are free, you can say, "Excuse me, can I ask for your help?" This shows that you are patient and respectful of their time. If you are in a hurry and need help quickly, you can say, "I'm sorry to bother you, but it's urgent. Can you help me, please?" This helps the other person understand that you need help right away. In addition to using polite language, your tone of voice and body language are also important. When asking for help, try to speak clearly and use a calm voice. If you speak too quietly, the person may not hear you. If you speak too quickly, they may not understand you. A clear and calm voice helps others understand what you need. Your body language also sends a message. If you smile and make eye contact, you show that you are friendly and polite. If you look angry or impatient, the other person may not want to help you. Being polite with both your words and actions makes it easier for others to respond positively to your request. Sometimes people may not be able to help you, and that is okay. If someone says, "I'm sorry, I can't help you," you can thank them anyway by saying thank you for your time. It is also a good idea to try asking someone else. For example, if you ask a stranger for directions and they do not know, you can politely ask another person. Being patient and polite increases your chances of getting the help you need. If you are in a place with many workers, like a store or a hospital, it is usually easy to find someone else who can assist you. When you receive help, always remember to show gratitude. Saying thank you or I really appreciate it shows that you value the other person's kindness. If someone gives you detailed help, you can say, "Thank you so much for your help," or "I really appreciate your assistance." If the help was quick but useful, you can simply say, "Thanks a lot." Being thankful encourages people to continue helping others. It also leaves a good impression and shows that you are polite and respectful. Asking for assistance is a useful skill in daily life. Whether you need help finding a location, understanding instructions, or solving a problem, knowing how to ask politely and clearly makes communication easier. It also helps you build better relationships with people around you. By using polite phrases, giving clear details, being patient, and showing gratitude, you can ask for assistance in a respectful and effective way. When asking for assistance, it is important to understand that different situations may require different ways of requesting help. In everyday life, you might need help in various places, such as a supermarket, a bus stop, a school, or even on the street. Knowing how to ask for assistance in different situations makes you feel more confident and helps you communicate effectively. It is also important to recognize that the way you ask for help may change depending on who you are speaking to. For example, when asking a stranger for help, you may want to be more formal and polite. When asking a friend or family member, you can be more casual and relaxed. Understanding these differences will help you navigate different social situations more easily. When you ask for help from someone you do not know, it is best to use formal and polite language. Starting with phrases like, "Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you," or "Could you help me, please?" shows respect and makes the person more willing to assist you. For instance, if you are in a supermarket and cannot find a product, you could ask an employee, "Excuse me, could you please tell me where the milk is?" If you are lost in a new city, you might stop someone on the street and say, "I'm sorry to bother you, but could you help me find the train station?" These polite expressions make your request sound kind and respectful, which increases the chances that the other person will be happy to help. When you are asking for help from someone you know, you can use more casual and simple phrases. For example, if you are at home and need help moving a heavy box, you can say to a family member, "Hey, can you help me with this box?" If you are working on homework and have a question, you might ask a friend, "Can you explain this to me?" In these familiar situations, it is not always necessary to be very formal, but it is still important to be polite. Adding words like please and thanks makes your request friendlier and shows that you appreciate their help. For example, you could say, "Can you help me with this, please?" Or after receiving help, "Thanks a lot for your help." Sometimes, you may need to ask for help in situations where people are very busy, such as in a hospital, at a busy store, or in a crowded place. In these cases, it is especially important to be clear and direct while still being polite. If you are in a hospital and need help finding a doctor's office, you could say to a staff member, "Excuse me, I need to find Dr. Smith's office. Can you help me, please?" If you are at a busy restaurant and need assistance, you could say to a waiter, "I'm sorry to bother you, but could I get some water, please?" Being clear and polite helps the other person understand your needs quickly, even when they are busy. In some situations, you might need to ask for help in an emergency. When there is an emergency, it is important to speak clearly and quickly so that others understand the seriousness of the situation. For example, if someone is hurt, you can say, "Help. Someone is injured. Please call an ambulance." If you see a fire, you might say, "There's a fire. Please call the fire department." In emergencies, people understand that you must speak directly and urgently, so it is okay to be less formal. However, it is still helpful to speak clearly and loudly so that others understand and respond quickly. When you ask for assistance, it is also helpful to use gestures or body language to make your request clearer. For example, if you are asking for directions, you might point to a map or a street to show where you want to go. If you need help lifting something heavy, you could gesture toward the object to show what you need help with. Using gestures along with clear language can make your request easier to understand, especially if the other person does not speak your language well. In many cases, body language can make communication smoother and help the other person understand your needs more quickly. Another important part of asking for assistance is being patient and understanding. Sometimes, the person you ask may not be able to help you immediately. For example, if you ask for help in a store and the worker is busy, they might say, "I'll be with you in a moment." In these cases, it is important to wait politely until they are available. If someone cannot help you at all, you could try asking someone else. For instance, if you ask a stranger for directions and they do not know, you can thank them and ask another person. Being patient and polite makes it easier to get the help you need and leaves a good impression on others. It is also useful to know how to respond when someone offers you assistance without being asked. Sometimes, people notice when you need help and offer it before you ask. For example, if you are struggling to carry a heavy bag, someone might say, "Do you need help with that?" In this situation, you can respond politely by saying, "Yes, please." "Thank you." If you do not need help, you can say, "Thank you, but I'm okay." Being polite when accepting or refusing help shows that you appreciate the other person's kindness. Learning how to ask for assistance in different situations is a valuable skill. Whether you are asking for help from a stranger, a friend, or in an emergency, using polite and clear language makes your communication more effective. By practicing different ways to ask for help, you will feel more confident when you need assistance. Remember to be polite, use clear language, and show gratitude when someone helps you. These small actions make a big difference in everyday communication and help you build positive relationships with the people around you. When learning to ask for assistance, it is also important to understand how cultural differences can affect the way people give and receive help. In some cultures, people are very open to offering assistance, even without being asked. For example, if you look confused or lost, someone might approach you and say, "Do you need help?" In other cultures, people may wait until you ask for help directly. Understanding these cultural differences can help you feel more comfortable when asking for assistance in different countries or with people from different backgrounds. If you are unsure how to ask, starting with polite and clear phrases like "excuse me" or "could you help me, please," is always a good choice, no matter where you are. Another important skill when asking for assistance is knowing how to ask follow-up questions. Sometimes, when someone gives you help, their answer may not be completely clear to you. In these situations, it is useful to ask additional questions to get more information. For example, if you ask for directions and someone says, "Go straight and turn left," but you are still unsure, you could ask, "How far should I go straight?" Or is it the first left or the second left? Being able to ask follow-up questions helps you get the help you need more effectively. You can also use phrases like, "Could you explain that again, please?" Or "I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Could you repeat that?" These phrases show that you are listening carefully and want to understand clearly. When asking for assistance, it is also helpful to recognize when to offer help in return. Communication is a two-way process, and just as you may need help sometimes, Others may need your help as well. If someone helps you, there may be opportunities for you to assist them later. For example, if a coworker helps you understand a task, you could offer to help them with something else in the future by saying, "Thank you for your help. Let me know if you ever need anything." Offering help in return shows kindness and builds positive relationships with others. Even if you cannot directly repay someone, a sincere thank you so much for your help shows that you value their time and effort. It is also useful to know how to ask for assistance when you are using services such as public transportation, customer service, or healthcare. In these settings, you may need to ask for help with specific problems. For instance, at a train station, you could ask, "Could you help me find the right platform, please?" When speaking to customer service, you might say, "I have a problem with my order. Could you assist me?" In a doctor's office, you could ask, "Could you help me understand these instructions?" Using specific language helps people in these roles understand your problem quickly and find a solution. Additionally, being patient and respectful with service workers is especially important, as they often assist many people throughout the day. Sometimes, you may need to ask for assistance in a professional or formal setting, such as at work or school. In these environments, it is best to use polite, clear, and professional language. For example, if you do not understand a work assignment, you could ask your manager, "Could you clarify the instructions for this task, please?" If you are a student and need help with an assignment, you could say to your teacher, "I'm having difficulty with this question. Could you explain it to me, please?" Using formal language shows that you are serious and respectful. It is also helpful to show that you have already tried to solve the problem yourself before asking for help. For instance, you might say, "I have tried to solve this, but I'm still confused. Could you help me understand it better?" When asking for assistance, it is also important to be aware of how to respond if the person you ask cannot help you. Sometimes, the person may not know the answer or may be too busy to assist you. If this happens, it is polite to say, "Thank you anyway," or "I appreciate your time." You can then look for someone else who might be able to help. For example, if you ask a store employee where to find an item and they are unsure, you could say, "Thank you anyway. I'll try asking someone else." Being understanding and kind, even when someone cannot help, leaves a positive impression and makes it easier to ask for help again in the future. In some cases, you may need to ask for assistance using technology. For example, if you're using a website and have trouble, you might need to contact customer support. Many websites offer live chat, email, or phone support where you can ask for help. In these situations, it is important to describe your problem clearly and politely. You could say, "Hello. I'm having trouble logging into my account. Could you assist me, please?" If you are using a self-service kiosk at a store or a ticket machine and do not understand how it works, you could ask a nearby worker, "Excuse me. Could you show me how to use this machine?" Being able to ask for assistance with technology is becoming more important as many services move online. Another useful skill is learning how to ask for assistance in a group setting. Sometimes, you may need help when you are in a meeting, a classroom, or a social gathering. In these situations, it is important to be respectful and wait for the right moment to ask. For example, in a classroom, you could raise your hand and say, "I have a question. Could you help me understand this part, please?" In a meeting, you might wait until there is a pause and then ask, "Could you clarify that point, please?" Being respectful of the group and asking your question clearly helps you get the help you need without interrupting others. Asking for assistance is an essential life skill that helps you navigate different situations with confidence. Whether you are asking for directions, seeking help with a problem, or requesting clarification, using polite and clear language makes communication easier. Remember to be patient, respectful, and grateful when others assist you. Practicing these skills in everyday situations will improve your ability to ask for help effectively. Over time, You will become more comfortable asking for assistance and offering help to others, making your interactions smoother and more positive.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Money.
Resources.
Not enough people to do the job.
Understaffed.
It's not a good time now.
The timing is just not right.
Remove pressure or stress.
Weight off my shoulders.
Help.
Give me a hand.
It's okay.
That sounds reasonable.
Hire.
Recruit.
Working too much.
Overworked.
Not enough people to do the job.
Short-staffed.
Reduce spending.
Cut costs.
Having too many employees.
Overstaffed.
Let's try that faster.
Working too much.
Overworked.
Remove pressure or stress.
Weight off my shoulders.
Having too many employees.
Overstaffed.
Reduce spending.
Cut costs.
Hire.
Recruit.
Money.
Resources.
It's okay.
That sounds reasonable.
Not enough people to do the job.
Understaffed.
Not enough people to do the job.
Short-staffed.
Help.
Give me a hand.
It's not a good time now.
The timing is just not right.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Resources.
We would like to use more resources to increase our sales.
Resources.
We don't have enough resources to start a new project.
Resources.
Intel has a lot of resources for research and development.
Understaffed.
Hospitals in poor regions of Africa are understaffed.
Understaffed.
I did overtime last week because the company is understaffed.
Understaffed.
The factory is producing less than usual because it's understaffed.
The timing is just not right. The timing is just not right.
The timing is just not right for us to have a baby.
The timing is just not right.
I want to buy a car, but the timing is just not right.
Weight off my shoulders.
Could you help me plan the party? That would really take some of the weight off my shoulders.
Weight off my shoulders.
Finishing that project was a big weight off my shoulders.
Weight off my shoulders.
Winning the lottery took a great weight off my shoulders.
Give me a hand.
Can you give me a hand with these boxes?
Give me a hand.
Neil, I'll need you to give me a hand with the sales report.
Give me a hand.
Here, let me give you a hand with your suitcase. Paying $30 for new shoes sounds reasonable. Does that sound reasonable to you?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine. Welcome back, everyone. So what are we talking about today, Marco?
We are going to the flower shop.
Okay, so this is an intermediate level lesson, and we're going to be learning about the different kinds of flowers you can buy at a flower shop. And so we've got a guy here who's probably trying to say something to someone he loves.
Yeah, I think he did something to his girlfriend or wife. And, well, that's the typical thing, right? You do something wrong, so you got to get her flowers.
And that's why women are often very nervous when their husband or boyfriend gives them flowers, because she's thinking,
what did
he do wrong?
All right, so let's listen to the dialogue and we'll be back soon.
Hello, sir. How may I help you?
I would like to buy some flowers, please. Something really nice.
I see. May I ask what the occasion is?
It's not really an occasion. It's more like I'm sorry.
Very well. This arrangement here is very popular among regretful husbands and boyfriends. It has a dozen long-stem red roses with a couple of sunflowers and a single orchid that stands out. It includes a small teddy bear to achieve the effect of immediate forgiveness.
I think I'm gonna need more than just a dozen red roses and a bear. What else do you recommend?
Well, this is our I'm sorry I cheated on you package. 2 dozen red roses lined with tulips, carnations and lilies. The fragrance and beauty of this flower arrangement is sure to make her forgive you.
I don't think that's gonna cut it. I need something bigger and better.
I'm sorry, sir, but what exactly did you do?
Well, I may have accidentally insinuated that she is getting chubbier.
Get out of my store, you jerk!
All right, we're back. So what do you think? Is this really like a bad thing to do?
Heck yeah.
No, really?
Well, no one wants to hear that someone thinks they're fat. Okay, and chubby is maybe not as bad as fat, but the guy could have been a little bit nicer.
All right, so we'll give our listeners some advice towards the end of the lesson. So now why don't we take a look at all the flower names in Language Takeaway?
Language takeaway.
Okay, this first flower is a beautiful one, and it has delicious seeds that people like to eat. It's called a sunflower.
A sunflower. All right, so that's a yellow flower, right?
It's bright yellow, and in the middle is orange, and the stems are very, very long.
And
so
thick.
And thick. So it's a tall flower.
Okay, sunflower.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, as you mentioned, some people eat sunflower seeds. They're like the little salty ones, right?
That's right. They're really good.
All right, next is an orchid.
Okay, an orchid is a beautiful flower, and they're often grown just one at a time. And people collect orchids, so these can be very, very expensive.
They're very expensive.
And they
right?
come in all shapes, sizes, and colors.
Okay, an orchid. Now what about a tulip?
A tulip is another pretty flower, and I think they're most famous in Holland for their tulips, because this actually used to be the kind of money that they would use. This was their currency for many years. So
they used to use tulips.
They used to use tulips, and the tulip flower is kind of like it's like a champagne glass. It's tall and it's kind of empty in the middle.
Oh, that's interesting. So next time somebody says, "Do you think money grows on trees?" In Holland, it literally did.
Well, yeah,
almost.
almost.
All right. What about a carnation?
Okay, a carnation is another pretty flower, and they come, I think, in red, pink, and white.
Yeah, I've mostly seen white carnations.
Yeah, and flower giving, there's a whole
definition
method to it, right? So yeah, every flower is symbolic of something. Red roses are for love, and carnations, I think, are generally
friendship,
for either friendship or like when someone died. I'm not sure.
Or
but
you can give them
when someone has passed away.
Really?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. But carnation is another very, very common flower that you'll see in many different colors.
Okay. And the next flower is also really common. It's a lily.
All right. A lily is a beautiful flower. And usually you see these on water. So water lilies, for example, is another name you might hear.
Okay. A water lily or just a regular lily. And next we have the most common of all the flowers. But we've added a little twist to it. It's a long stem rose.
Right. So rose, everyone knows. So rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Shakespeare wrote a lot about roses. But in this case, We're talking about long stem roses, and we talked about this with sunflowers. The stem is the green part that grows out of the ground, and you think of the flower as the head. And so the stem is actually the connector between the ground and the flower.
Okay, so these types of roses have a really long stem, so they're very nice to like maybe give one of them away or something.
That's right. And you see, for example, at the opera, you see singers, people throw these roses at them and they pick them up and they're so long, the stems are so long and they collect them in their arms. And so that's a long stem rose.
All right, interesting. Okay, why don't we listen to our dialogue for the second time? Let's keep a lookout for these flower names and their pronunciation, and we'll come back in a little bit.
Hello, sir. How may I help you?
I would like to buy some flowers, please. Something really nice.
I see. May I ask what the occasion is?
It's not really an occasion. It's more like I'm sorry.
Very well. This arrangement here is very popular among regretful husbands and boyfriends. It has a dozen long-stem red roses with a couple of sunflowers and a single orchid that stands out. It includes a small teddy bear to achieve the effect of immediate forgiveness.
I think I'm gonna need more than just a dozen red roses and a bear. What else do you recommend?
Well, this is our I'm sorry I cheated on you package. 2 dozen red roses lined with tulips, carnations and lilies. The fragrance and beauty of this flower arrangement is sure to make her forgive you.
I don't think that's gonna cut it. I need something bigger and better.
I'm sorry, sir, but what exactly did you do?
Well, I may have accidentally insinuated that she is getting chubbier.
Get out of my store, you jerk.
All right, we're back. So in this dialogue, we had a lot of interesting phrases. So let's look at them now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
A lot of these phrases, Marco, have to do with, well, what the guy did wrong in today's dialogue. And so the first one is to cheat on.
So the woman offered him the I'm sorry I cheated on you package, right? So it's like an arrangement of flowers that usually people buy when they cheated on their boyfriend or girlfriend.
Right. And so in this case, to cheat on means to see another person. So if you're married to a woman, seeing someone else, having a date or a romantic encounter with another person is cheating on your wife.
So you're cheating on your wife.
Right,
and you use it like
on.
this, cheat on, right?
Cheat on. So he cheated on her, or they were both cheating on each other.
Okay. So to cheat on, not a good thing.
Not a good thing.
All right. So he was explaining to her that wasn't enough, the arrangement wasn't enough, and he said, I don't think that's gonna cut it.
Well, okay, you've probably heard the word cut before, but in this case, Marco, we're talking about to be able to cut it. So that's not gonna cut it, or it's not gonna cut it.
It's not gonna be enough.
Exactly. So that's not quite what I'm looking for. It's not enough. He wants bigger and better.
He wants more.
And so, for example, we could say, you know what? This dessert's not gonna cut it. We need something much fancier.
Okay, so
to be good enough for.
Okay, so to be good enough for. All right, very good. And then he was explaining to the shop lady what happened, and he said, well, I accidentally insinuated.
Okay, to insinuate is to suggest. So I could say, hey, you're really chubby. That's not an insinuation, that's a statement. But I could say, well, you're looking a little bit round at the sides. That's an insinuation because I'm suggesting without saying something.
Right, so you're saying something indirectly, right?
Exactly.
And he was insinuating that his girlfriend was getting chubbier.
Chubby. So chubby, chubbier, chubbiest. In this case, we're talking about being round or a little bit overweight.
Right, so it's not really saying fat.
No, fat is rude.
Right.
Chubby is, it's in
just
between.
A little bit extra pounds.
Yeah, like maybe you had a little bit too much ice cream over the past couple months.
All right. Very good. So why don't we listen to the dialogue for the last time, and we'll be back.
Hello, sir. How may I help you?
I would like to buy some flowers, please. Something really nice.
I see. May I ask what the occasion is?
It's not really an occasion. It's more like I'm sorry.
Very well. This arrangement here is very popular among regretful husbands and boyfriends. It has a dozen long-stem red roses with a couple of sunflowers and a single orchid that stands out. It includes a small teddy bear to achieve the effect of immediate forgiveness.
I think I'm gonna need more than just a dozen red roses and a bear. What else do you recommend?
Well, this is our I'm sorry I cheated on you package. 2 dozen red roses lined with tulips, carnations and lilies. The fragrance and beauty of this flower arrangement is sure to make her forgive you.
I don't think that's gonna cut it. I need something bigger and better.
I'm sorry, sir, but what exactly did you do?
Well, I may have accidentally insinuated that she is getting chubbier.
Get out of my store, you jerk.
All right, so if you make a mistake, like as a guy, right, you give flowers to your girlfriend. What about women giving flowers to guys? Is that common? Do you think that's possible? Can you do that?
I'm sure you can do it, but I don't know if it's as common.
Like, I think as a guy, I wouldn't really feel comfortable receiving flowers.
Really?
I mean, I would be touched by the gesture and I would be like, oh, that's really sweet. But like flowers, it's a little bit too feminine, I think.
Generally, I think it's a one-sided thing. So you can get flowers for your mother, or you can get flowers for a friend, or if someone, passed away, you can get flowers for their family.
Right.
But in a romantic situation, rarely do you get flowers to a guy.
So if you want to say I'm sorry to a guy, what do you give him?
Season tickets to his favorite football team.
That works. Yeah.
Or
like a game for his PlayStation.
A game
or
for his PlayStation, or offer him a new coat of paint on his car. I don't know.
Have you never given a gift to somebody, like saying I'm sorry?
No.
No, you don't make mistakes.
I like to use my words.
That's good. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. Why do we do this though? Why do we give gifts to people as a token or as a demonstration of our regretfulness?
Well, can I get personal for a second? I just was thinking about this in terms of engagement. So why do people give a ring when they get engaged?
So it's
I
like
think it's
symbolic.
because people like things that glitter. It's like distract the woman and she'll say yes. And so it's the similar thing with flowers and forgiveness. You say, oh gosh, these flowers are so beautiful. Oh, of course I forgive you. Oh, they're so pretty and they smell so, it's just like, it's like distraction from the matter at hand.
Right. Oh, maybe that's it.
I don't know. If you disagree with me, please.
It was a very
write us.
wise man who invented this.
Absolutely.
All right. So if you have any questions, doubts, or comments, please come to our website, englishpod.com, and we'll see you guys there.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Occasion. Occasion. A word used to describe 12 units. Dozen. Says something deserves to be chosen. Null. 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 More polite way of calling someone fat. Chubby.
Let's try that faster.
Occasion. Occasion. Null. Null. A word used to describe 12 units. Dozen. Says something deserves to be chosen. Null. More polite way of calling someone fat. Chubby.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Dozen. I would like to buy a dozen of eggs. Dozen. He sent her 6 dozen flowers, representing the 6 years that they have been married. Dozen. Take a dozen of your best men and scout the forest. Occasion. On this occasion, I would like to buy something very special. Occasion. Occasions like this don't come so often in my life.
Occasion. What's the occasion for your visit? Null. I recommend you to stay away from that jungle. Null. He would recommend many unnecessary things. Null. He recommended me to hire this man. Null. The fragrance of lilies is very pleasant. Null. He always has such a sweet fragrance. Null. She bought a new perfume with a fragrance too sweet for my taste. Chubby. She got so much chubbier over the summer. Chubby. My dog keeps getting chubbier. Chubby. He was a lot chubbier last time I saw him.